Ted, I try not to frequent McDonald's that often, Doesn't do good for this, beautiful body you see before you. Yeah. But let's face it, I can go to McDonald's anywhere, I'll say in Canada, even in North America. I know what I'm gonna get. Yeah. I'm gonna get food, not top quality food, not the healthiest food, but you know what? My Big Mac is gonna be a Big Mac, whether I bought it in Edmonton, whether I got it in Calgary, whether it was in Toronto. Yeah. My fries will be the same. The way I come through the drive-thru, the experience is the same. And that's what makes them so successful, because I know what I'm going to get. Yeah. And that's it. My expectations have been met.
Exactly.
If you can model your business off of that experience, and we've all been through a McDonald's drive-thru, so don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Right. Think about how your business operates and how easy it would be if your clients just experience the same thing over and over again, and that's why they came back to you.
Yeah, for sure. Creating that consistent and positive customer experience is critical for that first intake of that customer to ensure that they feel valued and taken care of. And then you've kind of touched on kind of the next steps, right? Now you've captured the customer's attention. Now you're prepared to move forward, and that customer's prepared to move forward. Talk a little more about the operational processes there that kind of help a business, become like a McDonald's, where you can hire people that just need to follow the process, and the business will be successful.
That's something that took a while to figure out, because we had different ways of keeping track of our customers. You can use QuickBooks. That's one platform of being able to keep your customer database. But what you really need is a system that you use for keeping in contact with your clients, scheduling your jobs, quoting your jobs, invoicing your jobs, getting paid for your jobs, and having your staff be tied to this system so that it's one cohesive platform that everyone's involved with. So, for example, I had a fellow send me a text message the other day after we booked in his job and just mentioned, hey, I'm so impressed. I've never gotten a text message and an email from an electrical contractor that just confirmed the appointment date, and he even got a picture of the fella who's coming out. That happens every time we book you in for a job. And that's because of the platform that we use to manage the business. And it's funny, that photo goes a long way. Especially, let's say you're a single mom and you've got some contractor coming to your home. And that could be a scary experience when you don't know who's coming to the door. Getting an email and a text with my smiley face or one of my staff's smiley face, you know who's knocking out the door. And that in itself, we've gotten that feedback, especially from seniors as well. So it happens every time we book it in. And if we need to make a change, we can notify you through that platform as well. So that happens. So that happens when we book you in for a quote, or if it's a type of project where I don't even need to come out and quote it, because we just know that we're going to be charging you a flat fee for this type of service, and our technician will be out on this day, and here you go. Here's the client reminder. But with that, if I've got to come out and do a quote for you, or one of my people, same thing. You'll know who's coming to the door. You'll know what time we're going to be there. And after that, you will get the quote following our visit. And you actually have your own client. It's called a client hub that gets set up automatically when you enter your information into our system. You can go into that client hub. You can request changes. You can message us. You can send photos back and forth through that. So, we can work out the details on that quote, and then you approve it, you sign it, we get the signed copy, comes through the platform, and now we book you in for the project. Then we complete the project, and we send you your bill. And you can pay by credit card, right from the platform. So it's beautiful. And that's how all of our customers are dealt with. So that experience is the same. What's really important is that we keep the communication up with our clients through the project. Some of our jobs were done in an hour. Some jobs take weeks. And the communication is so important through every step of the project. Some customers are very much, hey, you know what, guys, just get it done. I just want it finished and send me the bill when you're all finished. They put all that confidence. But you have other customers that want to be informed every step of the way. And it could be because they've been burned by a contractor in the past. I always say one of my favorite customers is the ones that are leery about having a contractor come into their home or have had a bad experience and are expecting the same from us because that's been their experience in the past. And when you can blow their minds by giving them that great experience right from the way the phone was answered to the way we conduct ourselves on site and the way how easy it was to pay the bill, and that's it. Then you've earned a loyal client, and that's not the transactional client. That's the relational client. That's so important, and it's important to every business. It doesn't matter what realm of business you're in. Very important.
For sure. Creating a great customer experience leads to repeat business with that customer as well as then a referral. They're more likely to refer them to their friends, family, their neighbors when they know that they have worked with somebody that they felt that was a great experience, that they trusted them, they brought trust and value into their home. So definitely having that process in place, so when you're starting out your business or if you're working in your business, you got to start thinking about these processes and start building them out. And it may take time. You need to, as Kevin said, it does take time. You got to practice it out, make those tweaks, and that's all part of the continuous improvement of your business, building that process of continuous improvement and looking at where can I do better the next time around. And Kevin, I'm sure it took you a little bit of time and through some advice of others and working in a group of like-minded business individuals, you learn these things and you learn how to help create a wow experience for your customer.
You're gonna screw up. We screwed up. It happens. And what's most important is how, what do you do for damage control on it? How do you salvage a relationship? And you've got to put yourself out there and say, you know what, client, we made a mistake. We did not offer, or we did not provide the service that we promised, and we want to make it right for you. And I think that's really where you're going to build credibility up, because you admit you screwed up. You're not trying to point the finger and blame it at something else or somebody else. You say, we made a mistake here. We want to make it right. Now you're really under scrutiny for what you do. But when you knock it out of the park after the fact and you get the happy client, you get the 5-star Google review, then you know you've done something right. And that's what they're going to remember you for, is the way you handled it when things go sideways. And you can't just walk away from it. And so many clients I've met in the past have been burned by other contractors because that's what happened. Things went sideways and they walked away. And there's a lot of horror stories out there.
Yeah.
So you're not going to do it right every time, but how you redeem yourselves when things go wrong is probably the most critical.
Yeah, it reminds me of a story that we heard from one of our business colleagues who told a story about how she was out doing a cleaning job and they had realized they had forgotten one part of the job. The client called, was not happy with the service. She went on their own, no additional cost. They did that additional work. She brought a gift as an apology to the customer, and the customer ended up leaving a 5-star review. So here was a situation where it started positive, went negative, and they came positive, where the customer left 5-star reviews. Whereas a lot of businesses today, they would have just said, sorry, we'll get it next time, which really is not what the customer was expecting.
And with the Google review, if your customer shares that experience, like actually writes a little story about that experience, I think that goes a long way. Because we recently had a similar situation where we did a panel upgrade in a customer's home. And it was a lot of work on the project, and the guys missed tying in one of the circuits. So the consequence of that was the receptacles in their bedroom didn't work. You know, it was late in the evening when we found out, and it wasn't a critical situation where they'd lost power to something essential like their furnace or their fridge or their sump pump or that. It was an inconvenience. We had guys out there next day, no charge, fixed it up, and customers were thrilled. And they put that story in their Google review, and I'm glad they did. Because for one thing, it shows that we're human, but it also shows that this is not a Google review that my mom did. You know, this is true to life experiences that customers are having, and they're willing to share it because they were happy. Because I'll tell you one thing, they will be very willing to share it if they're unhappy. Google reviews are a slippery slope. They can go sideways. They can really make or break your business. So, you know, it all ties back into having systems in the way that you operate. If your Google reviews reflect similar experiences time and time again from the customers, then it tells new prospective clients that these guys are doing things a certain way, and the customer is reporting it back through their review that the experiences are the same over and over and over again. So it all goes back to having a system, having a process.